Max Stirner's philosophy was a radical departure from traditional views of society and the individual. He believed that there was no objective social reality independent of the individual. This meant that social classes, the state, the masses, and humanity were all dismissed as abstractions that need not be taken seriously. Stirner instead focused on the finite, empirical ego, which he viewed as the driving force behind every human action. His philosophy emphasized the importance of the individual and rejected the notion of a collective social reality. Stirner's most famous work, The Ego and Its Own, served as a foundation for his philosophy. In this book, he argued that individuals should prioritize their own self-interest and desires above all else. He believed that traditional moral and ethical codes were oppressive and urged individuals to free themselves from the constraints of societal expectations. Stirner's ideas were seen as controversial and challenging to the prevailing ideologies of his time. One of the key concepts in Stirner's philosophy was the idea of egoism. He defined egoism as the belief that individuals should act in their own self-interest and pursue their desires without regard for external constraints. This concept challenged the conventional wisdom that individuals should prioritize the needs of others or adhere to societal norms. Stirner's egoism was a radical departure from traditional ethical and moral frameworks. Stirner's philosophy also critiqued the concept of spooks, which he used to refer to ideas, institutions, and beliefs that exerted control over individuals. He argued that individuals were often enslaved by these spooks, whether they be religious doctrines, political ideologies, or societal expectations. Stirner called for the liberation of the individual from these oppressive forces and encouraged a more authentic, self-directed way of life. In examining Stirner's philosophy, it is essential to consider his views on the state and authority. He rejected the idea of the state as a legitimate entity and instead viewed it as a coercive force that sought to subjugate individuals. Stirner advocated for the abolition of the state and the decentralization of power, arguing that individuals should be free from external control and able to determine their own destinies.